Ilia Topuria, what an incredible rise did he have in the last couple years. First knocking out Volk in brutal fashion, and from there he shut down Max, knocking out someone who has never ever been knocked down before. Yeah, that slip against Justin didn't count, you can go complain to UFC stats guys, but anyway, what I'm saying is, this Topuria dude definitely looks unbeatable after everything he has done. Is he really though? Is he really unbeatable? Well, you're in luck, cause that's exactly what I'm here to talk about today. So let's start right away. Now, first things first, I wanna look at the current situation at the lightweight division. Can anyone even have a chance against this guy there? Once we answer that, then we can move on to super fights at welterweight. You know who I'm talking about, right? I promise we will get there very shortly. In the lightweight though, there's this one matchup I absolutely hate the most for Topuria. I can't lie, this must be the worst face-off there has ever been after a UFC championship bout. Like, why are we even discussing if someone should get the title shot against Ilia when their best win is against the washed Michael Chandler? Call me crazy if you want to, but Paddy the Baddie literally has no tools he can utilize against Ilia properly. Think about it, yeah, he has great BJJ skills, don't get me wrong, that ain't enough though, cause guess who has the exact same thing going for himself? Of course, Ilia Topuria. And Paddy isn't the type who can force a fight to the ground. If there's any diehard Paddy fans out there, I'm sorry to let you know. Catching Bobby Green with a submission is not the same thing with taking Topuria down and choking him out. You know what, I'll go even further in regards to how bad I think Paddy's chances of beating Ilia is. If anyone is going to get submitted in this matchup, it's going to be Paddy after being rocked so bad you can't even imagine. And from there, Ilia chokes him out just to prove a point, cause he's kinda delusional like that, I guess. Beyond my overall view on this, let's be real for a second. Stylistically, Paddy has always had a bad habit of retreating from the pocket with his chin up, and he does that on a straight line most of the time as well. As you, me, honestly everyone knows, that's literally the exact opposite of what he should be doing. Now I know, he will probably be a bit more cautious against a devastating boxer like Ilia, but oh man, it's just not going to be enough. Moving on to the obvious contender, the real contender some might say, Arman Tsarukyan. Alright, this is a tricky one, isn't it? On paper, whenever I say a wrestler who can actually strike, go against a striker with a BJJ background, I always lean more towards the wrestling guy, okay? For instance, that's exactly what I did when Makhachev fought Oliveira for the belt back in 2022 or 23, I can't even remember. You know what, let me pull it up real quick cause I'm curious now. Oh yeah, it's 22. Back to the topic at hand, the only worry I have for Arman against Topuria is I'm not sure just how good his offensive wrestling is really. Of course I'm not saying he's a bum, okay, but when you lose to people like Gamrot and go to life and death against Oliveira, when he clearly isn't who he used to be, it's a question to be asked for sure. I just think Topuria is way too dangerous to be left standing, you know, you gotta take him down, make him work for it. Even if he gets up, you go again, chain wrestle him against the fence, threaten submissions so he can scramble easily, so on and so forth. This is way easier said than done though, because unlike many great strikers before him, Topuria has a solid ground game. He showed that even against Charles, he kept his composure, got back up, and boom, knocked him out cold like it was nothing. That's kind of what I envision happening between Arman and Topuria. Arman can have a moment or two with the takedown. However, at the end of that night, I still see Topuria knocking him out cold. My final verdict is this: the incredible power and, like some say, the lighter man's skill would probably give Topuria the edge in this fight. So from there, who else do we even have at lightweight? Justin Gaethje? Man, I love him, alright? He's an OG, has my respect, that's good and all, but how can he possibly beat Topuria? That's just not going to work. The same thing goes for any other quote-unquote striker, by the way. I have to admit, I really thought Max had the best chances of beating Topuria down at 145, and oh boy, was I wrong on that one. So yeah, I see the exact same thing happening to anyone who rely on their striking to beat Topuria. Paddy, Arman, Max, Justin, Dustin, whatever, whoever, when you think about it, Ilia really does seem unbeatable at lightweight. But you know what's next, right? Islam Makhachev. Oh man, like this is probably going to be the highest level fight ever in the history of UFC. I'm still kinda hurt by how we are not getting this earlier, thanks to Belal losing to JDM. However, maybe that's for the best, cause the moment this happens, if Makhachev wins against JDM, of course, both of these guys are going to be double champs, pound for pound number 1 or 2, whichever way you place them on there. The hype is going to be beyond crazy. That's good, cause it calls for it, right? With Makhachev's wrestling ability, judo trips, the threat of the submissions, against Ilia's own wrestling and BJJ background, on the feet, Makhachev definitely has the advantage in the distance with his devastating kicks, yet of course Ilia's boxing is unmatched in the pocket. It's such a beautiful clash of styles, and as an MMA fan, I'm looking forward to it. I've been thinking about it for a while, and in my eyes, I know one man will shock the world as a result of this. But that's a story for another time. Today, the question was, is Ilia Topuria unbeatable at lightweight? And with the current contenders being who they are, yes, he is indeed unbeatable. Don't just get up and leave, let me know what you think down in the comments, subscribe so I can see you next time. Cheers!